the forgotten corners of the desert, where the dunes shift. Like serpents and shadows, whisper secrets older than time. Something stirs. Tonight, we open the gateway to the realm of the creatures born of smokeless fire, older than man, feared by prophets, and blamed for murder, mayhem, and madness. They see you when you sleep. They follow you through the dark. And if you ever speak their name, they will answer you. Welcome to Project Black Garden, a Monsters and Myths podcast. Season 3, The Lotus Files. File number 111, The Jinn. I'm your host, Michael, and prepare yourself for the evil that awaits. The Jinn are ancient supernatural beings from Middle Eastern mythology, particularly rooted in pre-Islamic Arabian beliefs and later incorporated into Islamic theology. They are some of the most enigmatic creatures in myth, beings of smokeless fire, capable of great and evil magic, shape-shifting, and influence over humans. Long before Islam, Arabs believed in invisible spirits inhabiting remote places such as deserts, ruins, and caves. Jinn were thought to be wild, dangerous, and often blamed for madness, possession, or strange happenings. Poets in ancient Arabia sometimes claimed that a jinn was their muse or source of inspiration. These monsters are explicitly mentioned in the Quran as a separate creation from humans and angels. Humans made from clay, angels from light, and jinn from smokeless fire. They were created before humans and are capable of belief or disbelief. Chapter 72 of the Quran is entirely devoted to them. Satan is considered a jinn who disobeyed God's command to bow to Adam. The characteristics of a jinn can take many forms. They can become visible or invisible at will. They're shapeshifters, able to appear as animals, snakes, dogs, cats, or even humans. Supernatural powers, including possession, illusion, flight, and telepathy. Free will. Like humans, they can choose to be good or evil. They have a lifespan that is far longer than humans, but are still considered mortal. Some believe that they exist in a hidden dimension that intersects with our own, a parallel world of demons. The different types of jinn. The Marid, often the most powerful, known for strength and arrogance, often associated with oceans. The Ifrit, infernal and vengeful, typically live underground, often portrayed as demonic. The Shaitan, evil and rebellious, frequently used as a synonym for devil or tempter. The Ghoul, flesh-eating spirits that haunt cemeteries or deserts, often female in Arab folklore. The Salat, skilled shapeshifters, considered clever and tricky. And the Jann, the most neutral and often helpful jinn, said to live in deserts. The paranormal and modern belief of jinns. In parts of the Muslim world, belief in jinn is still prevalent today. Some cultures blame jinn for sleep paralysis, possession, mental illness, or random accidents. Exorcisms are sometimes performed to rid a person or house of a malevolent jinn. Legends abound of cursed items, haunted homes, and desert travelers encountering jinns. Jinn are among the most complex and enduring mythological beings, both demonic and divine, tricksters and guardians. They serve as explanations for the unexplainable, fill tales with fear and wonder, and blur the line between religion and folklore. But in the Lotus Files, the jinn is very real and far more dangerous than anybody could have ever thought. They say the woods behind Hollow Creek, Georgia, never forget what's buried. 12-year-old Eli had always been the curious type, the kind of boy who read ghost stories by flashlight and dared his friends to play hide and seek in graveyards. One muggy summer afternoon, while exploring the burned-out shell of an old church deep in the swamp, he stumbled onto something strange. A heavy iron vessel covered in thick vines and marked with symbols he couldn't read. It was the size of a football. It was buried in the ash beneath the pulpit. The moment he touched it, the forest grew still. Even the cicadas stopped screaming. He returned home with it tucked tightly in a blanket underneath his arm. Later that night, thunder rolled through Hollow Creek. Eli, unable to sleep, stared at the mysterious vessel now sitting on his desk. His fingers itched. His skin crawled. Without understanding why, he whispered a word he thought he heard in a dream. Nazirim. Instantly, the old vessel cracked open with a sound like bone snapping underwater. Thick smoke oozed from inside, black and cold and very wrong. It swirled and formed into a shape that didn't belong in this world. It had antler-like horns, sharp like a demon, glowing red eyes that flickered like hot coals, and skin that rippled like fire behind a veil of shadow. The mystery filled Eli's room, but cast no reflection in the mirror. Its eyes turned to Eli, and it spoke without a mouth. You have broken my seal. I am free. Eli, soaked in cold sweat, managed the courage to pull his covers over his head, and he held his breath for as long as he could. And when he needed to breathe again, he gasped, pulling the covers slowly down past his eyes and then mouth. And he discovered the creature was no longer there. Just the ancient, dirty vessel, shaped like an odd jar, lying on its side. The killings began the next day. A hiker was found hanging from a tree, skin scorched but not burned. A gas station attendant was found without his eyes replaced with black, glittering stones. People's pets were found, cut in half, bloodless, but horrifying. Soon after, whole families vanished from their trailers and homes. Doors still locked from the inside. No one had answers. The authorities, the townspeople, all in the dark of what was happening. All except Eli. Alone, he could hear it in his room, in his dreams. And if he listened hard enough, he could hear it in the trees. The Jinn, Nazirim, was bound to his waking thoughts. Maybe even his soul. And now that it was free and it had tasted blood, it would never stop. Eli tried everything. Prayer, salt rituals, even setting the ancient jar on fire. But nothing happened. Nothing worked. Until one night, when he had decided that he had had enough and he would try to find the Jinn himself. He raced through the swamps, growing tired and weak and losing his way. He unfortunately slipped in the dark and fell into the still, black waters of Dead Willow Pond, a pond known for how easy it was to drown. It was always marked and surrounded by fence to keep the public out. But on this night, there was no fence. There was no warnings. Eli's body was found 2 days later, wrapped in cattails, whitish blue, with a horrific look painted across his face. And just like that, the murders stopped. When this report fell on my great-uncle's desk, he wasn't sure if he would look into it or not. But the idea of Eli coming to an end like that began to haunt him. So on one of his quieter weekends, my great-uncle packed some things and flew to Georgia. When my uncle arrived in Hollow Creek, locals said he was asking strange questions about symbols, folklore, and unexplained deaths, and they didn't like it. But my great-uncle didn't care and pushed on for the truth. With permission from his devastated parents, my great-uncle walked into Eli's room. He found the iron vessel still laying on its side, cold and empty, resting almost peacefully on the boy's desk. The family offered my uncle a room to stay in for the night. Usually, Sam would never accept something like this, but this time, he decided to stay. In the middle of the night, the power went out. He found this crazy because there was no storms, nothing to indicate a power outage. He was in the middle of recording his report, and he was so wired from what he had discovered that he continued by lantern light. As he recorded, the air thickened. Outside, the cicadas went silent. Even the crickets died away, and from the corner of his eye, he could have sworn the trees outside shifted like they were watching. And in the corner of Eli's room, a shape emerged. Smoke and shadow, with eyes like dying embers. It eerily whispered from the corner, "I was bound to the boy. But now, I walk on my own." That was the last thing my great-uncle Sam remembered, because in that moment, he passed out. or was made to fall asleep. He doesn't know which to this day. In the morning, everything was normal. Reluctantly, he finished his investigation, citing no new information, and all things led to a dead end. He quickly left, returned home, reported his findings, and tucked this report deep within the Lotus files. But to this day, just outside Hollow Creek, Georgia, near the old church ruins, a new trail of scorched trees now winds through the woods, and no animals will go near it. A handful of paranormal investigating groups have gone there, convinced the creek is haunted by ancient ghosts and evils, and they are half right. But every group that enters Hollow Creek, if they return different, somewhat less themselves. They never return. But they would all agree in the last words that my great uncle wrote in this file. Hollow Creek belongs to the Jinn. All right, gardeners, thanks for being here this week. I hope you liked that episode. I'm going to keep things a little short and sweet this week, but I'd like to read you a recent email. I think you guys will enjoy this one. Hi, Project Black Garden team. I've gone back and forth about sending this, but after listening to your last episode about shadow entities, I feel like I need to share what's been happening to my family. For years now, before something bad happens, like a car accident, an illness, or even death, I see this shadow figure. It's always in the corner of my eye at first, tall and completely black, like it absorbs the light around it. Sometimes it's in my hallway, sometimes outside my bedroom door. Once, I even saw it standing at the foot of my daughter's bed the night before she broke her arm. At first, I thought it was just stress or exhaustion, but it becomes too specific to ignore. The shadow never moves toward me. It just stands there, almost like it's watching. A few seconds later, it's gone. And within days, something terrible happens to someone close to us. The strangest part? My mother told me years ago that she used to see it too, back when her own parents were still alive. She referred to it as the Watcher. She said it ran in our bloodline, but I never believed her, until now. I'm writing this because last night, I saw it again. This time, it lingered longer than usual, almost as if it knew I could see it clearly. I don't know what's coming, but I can feel it's close. Please don't use my real name if you read this on the show. Just call me AW from Montana. Stay safe out there. AW. All right, AW. Thank you for sharing that with me and the public. I've heard of this before, and I do have an episode upcoming on shadow people. It's very brave of you to share this with us. And I'll be reaching out personally to see if there's anything I can do to help, or if there's anything in my great uncle's files that could help as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And remember, I believe you. Until next time, gardeners. You've been listening to Project Black Garden. a Monsters and Myths podcast. Season 3, The Lotus Files. I'm your host, Michael. Remember, monsters are real. And if you ever hear a voice in the dark whispering your name, you're already too late.